what's poppin', y'all? I'm multi-platinum coordinator Jack Carlo. To my right, I have my best friend Drewski here.
What it do, bugaboo?
I still don't know why you didn't pay that check, man. Complex still comment about that.
Man, yeah, we gonna run up on him, you know.
No, like, I handed you the check. You was just avoiding me. Like,
oh, listen, man, I had to go to McDonald's. You know they had a 2-for-1
we
set.
went to a 5-star restaurant. Complex.
Should have been 3.5, if we're being honest. Anyways, in all seriousness, I am your co-host, Dereck M. Fuster, and the M is for Mackenzie.
So we're just giving up full government names now?
Why not? Like, what are they gonna do with it?
I mean, there are all those weirdos out there, so I mean...
You know what? You right. Start the shit over.
Alright, and of course, I'm the co-host, Jalen, and this is episode, 17?
This is episode 17, you know, the Devontae Adams episode, what are some other notable 17s we got in the world of sports?
I'm pretty sure J.J. Redick wore 17 at some
Okay,
point in
we'll
time.
go with that. Mike Wallace, I know he's not as notable, but, you know, he wore 17. But anyways, in all seriousness, welcome back to the WhattaPlay Podcast. This is a surprise episode for y'all, because I know I posted out on the Twitter page the other day due to the fact of me moving and whatnot. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to continue this. Luckily, the people I am staying with right now were nice enough to be like, yeah, we don't care if you do your podcast and stuff. So we're picking it back up. That said, we missed you, we love you, and we want you. I'm old Greg.
Alright, so at the time of this recording, we are going to week 4 of the NFL season. As you can see by our attire, Dereck is wearing the best running back in Ravens history.
Listen, the running back jokes are getting old. Lamar.
And I am wearing the MVP
hold
for
on,
this coming season's jersey.
Potential MVP. And let's talk about it, because the running back jokes, yeah, cool, whatever. But this man did lead the league in touchdown passes not even 2 seasons ago. And on top of that, the man is on pace for a 4,000-yard season. You are going to respect my quarterback.
That's kind of every other quarterback in the league, though.
I will switch our fantasy football group chat's name if you keep this shit up.
Okay.
You want to tell them what it is? I think it's pretty clever.
K1's booster seat.
Yeah, K1's booster seat.
Anyways, I mean, if y'all keep making the short jokes about my quarterback, and that's the only thing y'all have against him, I mean...
He can't get on any of the rides at Disney World.
I mean,
I got other jokes, but, like, I do actually, like...
Y'all seen my jersey. Y'all can see, you know, we got the pop front and center. We got the pop front and center. You know, K1 for MVP.
We got the actual GOAT right here, as much as you want to deny it.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so we're gonna recap the standings at this point in time, kind of give our inputs about them, and yeah.
But before we do that, check out the Maryland flag shorts, you know, representing, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah.
Biased here.
Small ass state compared to the great state of Texas.
Best flag design. Tell me I'm wrong. Texas is basic when it comes to the flag design.
Okay, but state flags are kind of supposed to be basic.
The only thing Texas has that is good is a Lexus.
And a whole lot of other stuff.
And Buc-ee's. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Buc-ee's!
Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. Y'all have Baltimore. That is it.
We got other stuff besides Baltimore, but yeah, Texas, there's more shit to do, so.
Like, come on now.
All right.
They don't cost the great state for nothing. But, so.
Called the Lone Star State.
Well, that too. But, so, for the AFC, we're going to start with the East first. AFC East standings, kind of usual. Buffalo's on top of the division, followed by Miami, the Patriots, and the Jets.
And we all know, speaking as a former Jets fan,
thank God I left that team, because they still suck.
JETS, just end the season.
I mean, why I think I left?
Zach Wilson ain't shit if we're being honest. What, we're like 3 weeks in?
Haven't I told you this?
You have, and I tried to.
And haven't I also said that team will not win anything for like another 10 years?
Yeah, they're gonna have to sell it. I think at this point they're gonna have to sell Darrelle Revis' soul to the devil to get another Super Bowl.
No, don't sacrifice him.
Cromartie? Can we sacrifice one of Cromartie's kids? I mean, he got plenty of them.
Nah, don't throw in Cromartie either. Just sell the team to Gary Vee at this point. He might know what to do with them compared to the Johnsons. But yeah. So going to the AFC West, definitely. If you guys told us in preseason that the AFC West would look the way it does now, you probably say we was crazy. But leading the West, we have the Raiders at 3-0, the Broncos at 3-0. Shout out Teddy Bridgewater reviving his career for the third or fourth time. The Chargers are 2-1, and the Chiefs are 1-2.
And let's talk about the Chiefs being 1-2.
Shout out Herbie, Skull Herbie.
Because yes, shout out Justin Herbert, who played a phenomenal game. But who's that other team that managed to beat the Kansas City Chiefs this season? Who is it? It's the Baltimore Ravens, baby. Shout out Odafe Oweh, potential, and I have some friends that might not agree with me because but potential rookie of the year, Odafe Oweh, forced a fumble on Clyde's Edwards-Helaire, and won us the game.
LSU fan, you can't even say his name right.
I am an LSU fan.
That's why y'all are unranked.
Whatever. But yeah, we won. We'll get to the AFC North standings in a bit. Heartbreaking loss in regards to, because we played two of the opponents in this division already. Or sorry, we played one. We play another one this upcoming week. Heartbreaking loss to the Raiders. That one hurt my soul.
Y'all had Zay Jones,
Carl Nassib. We're not going to say anything. We are an all-exclusive podcast. We welcome everybody here. But that said, that game hurt a little. I have a friend who, we'll get into the North in a little bit.
Yeah, what's on the West?
Yep. But Patrick Kermit the Frogs Mahomes is 1-2.
Obviously, if we go for years past, this is one of those kind of bumps in the road for Kansas City.
Yes.
Las Vegas, Oakland, LA Raiders, whatever you want to call them. All the OGs of Raider Nation also call them Oakland. But I guess we can say they're legit for now. I mean, they beat a legit team in Baltimore.
Yes.
They beat a legit team in Pittsburgh. So it looks like Derek Carr and John Gruden finally found what makes them successful.
Yeah, and the surprising thing is, we'll get into more MVP candidates later in the episode, but Carr's up there right now.
He definitely is. Now, with the Broncos, people can say whatever they want about the Broncos. Oh, the teams beat our combined 0-9. But don't discredit Teddy Bridgewater. I will still live by this statement. Teddy Bridgewater is underrated. He is not respected as the quarterback he should be. A lot of people, just in general, have said that the Broncos have talent, they just need the right quarterback, and so far, they have the right quarterback under center.
Definitely.
And then, of course, when you got the Chargers, Herbert bias aside, they got a signature win against Kansas City. Like what Tony Romo said this past Sunday, that win just officially kickstarted the Herbert-Mahomes rivalry for, we'll say, the next 10, 15 years.
I'd say 15, 20. It's going to be up there with the, Mahomes, Jackson rivalry.
Jackson-Mahomes rivalry?
No. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. We'll get to Jackson Mahomes in a minute because I got some shit I want to say about that.
Okay. And I mean, like I said, Kansas City, slow start to the season, not the way they would have liked to have started the season off, but long way to go for Kansas City. So for all you, 12-year-old bandwagons, don't go throwing away your Walmart brand jersey just yet.
We hooping?
Yeah, he's a Ravens fan. He's associated with y'all.
We don't claim him.
Oh, do y'all now?
No. I never claimed him. I'd be trying to start shit with him on TikTok.
He's gonna end up going live with you. He's gonna call you out.
He really will.
Probably.
I get my clout up, right?
So now going to the North, so now you can, talk your mess. AFC North.
Let's talk about the North. Guess
division,
who's in first?
The Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals are in first place right now. It's a bit shocking, Shout out my boy Joey Burrow, though. LSU alum. The lid. But yeah, shout out Joey Burrow. Shout out Jamar Chase. Shout out Joe Mixon, just because I have him in fantasy football.
And looking at the rest of the standings, Baltimore is in second.
Let's talk about it, though.
And Pittsburgh is fourth.
It warms my soul that the Schittsburg Steelers, and yes, I did say Schittsburg, deal with it, are in last place. Because let's be honest, co-host Jalen, Ben Roethlisberger is a shell of his former self. You've seen the way he's been playing these past few games.
I've come across Steelers fans who finally are saying that Ben should have hung it up this past season, saying that, we should have started Mason Rudolph. We should give Dwayne Haskins a chance.
Give Dwayne Haskins a shot. I've seen people saying sign Cam Newton, which honestly at this point I do think Cam gives them a better chance than Ben does. Ben looks scared to throw when he's in the pocket. He isn't making reads as well as he used to be able to.
Then again, you look at it. The past few years, Ben Roethlisberger isn't the same Ben Roethlisberger that we saw 10 years ago. Doing things with Prime Baby, Prime, Le'Veon Bell. Shout out to that flying. Like you said, Ben is the shell of his former self. As sports YouTuber Jordan Creed calls him Captain Fat Expletive. You guys can kind of fill in the blank there. But going with the rest of the AFC North, Cincinnati, it is a surprise to see them on top. Granted, everyone else in y'all's division is 2-1, but it looks like Joe Burrow, he's finally starting off the way that Bengal fans hoped he would start off. All the talking the preseason about, Jamar Chase can't catch the ball. He's this, he's that, but he has a touchdown in every game so far.
Which obviously, that's one of my biggest regrets is trading him away in our fantasy league. But let's talk about it because obviously the AFC North is always usually one of the most competitive divisions. They always usually come down to week, 16 in years past. Obviously, we have a 17-year game or 17-year
game.
Listen, we haven't done this in over a month. It's going to be a little rusty. A 17-week schedule. So instead of playing, 15 games, we're now playing 16 with a bye. Sound about right? There's my math off there.
It's 17.
17, so it's an 18-week game schedule.
Yep.
Okay, so I misspoke there. 18 weeks with a bye, 17 games. I wouldn't be surprised if our division comes down to the last week of the season. Obviously, a few years ago, the Ravens took the division relatively early, but obviously that is not the same team. And I would be foolish to sit here and say that is the same team that we had. But obviously, we have, one of the best quarterbacks, even if people don't want to admit it, in Lamar Jackson. I know you got your biasness because we all know what happened. We've talked about it on this podcast before. We have the best kicker in the league. This is not me being biased. He set an NFL record this past Sunday.
If I'm being honest, if you're boasting about the best kicker in football, which is a position that nobody really cares about, then
you're wrong. Respectfully, I disagree with you there. Kickers are one of the most important position. Don't be mad because y'all's kicker couldn't make a 68-yard field goal. And Tucker, Legatron as he is called, and yes, people do call him that, broke an NFL record before I was so rudely interrupted, Kanye. Broke an NFL record, 66-yard field goal. Obviously, you can't get to that without the 4th and 18, 4th and 19 first down conversion from Lamar Jackson to Sammy Watkins, who's a nice addition. But let me talk to Hollywood Brown. Let me talk to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, you're getting paid like a top 5 tight end now. You are. You need to catch the damn ball. You know the movie The Blind Side is one of them. It's a good movie. You know when what's her name? Sandra Bullock. I got that right. Sandra Bullock. You know when she says run the damn ball, catch the damn ball. Hollywood, I think you need to take one of your girlfriends and give him to Justin Tucker because he won y'all that game.
I think Justin Tucker's married with kids though.
I said what I said.
But anyways, he won his little Evan Grant. Now, last team to go to with the Browns. We have a mutual friend. We're not gonna say his name. He's probably gonna end up watching this eventually. Who says that since Odell came back, he's making Baker look like a Hall of Famer. I've said this time and time again. The Browns won without Baker last year. They went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game last year.
Without Baker or without Odell?
You know what, man. But yeah, the Browns so far so good for now. Odell, he came back, didn't really produce as much, but I feel like his numbers are gonna go up. Due to the fact that his brother from another is out for a couple of weeks, and that's gonna hurt my fantasy team.
It's gonna hurt mine too in another league. But that said, I do agree that.
And they also, with probably the best running back tandem in the league, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. Shout out Nick Chubb. He's on my fantasy team. One of our other mutual friends tried asking me.
Did he try asking you for Chubb?
Yes, he did.
He tried asking me for Derrick Henry, and he was like,
Ryan, I'm not trading you Nick Chubb.
Ryan, this is what I meant when I said you see what I mean when I said he does bullshit trades now, right?
Yes.
He was like, did he say this exact message to you? He was like, I'm looking for a top 15, 20 player to trade.
He told me, what LOL, why? I have a lot of receivers and running backs. So do I.
He told me, and I quote, I have a lot of receivers and running backs. I have top 15, 20 that I'm looking to trade for a top 5. And I was like, you know, your boy's not the greatest at math, but that math don't add up to me. And King Henry, shout out King Henry, won me our fantasy matchup against you last week. Why would I trade him? Like, oh, also, Ryan's in buy mode because he is 0-3 in our league. So this lovely trophy.
Wasn't he projected to win the league?
He was projected to go 15-0.
Oof.
This lovely trophy I have right here. This is the biggest bitch award. The biggest bitch award. We're not calling it my name. The biggest bitch award. I won this because last year I got screwed over in fantasy.
I got screwed over last year too. I should have won the whole damn thing.
You should have. I'll give you that. But I was playing against somebody we had in the league, and she was not good at fantasy football at all. And tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heart. No, in all seriousness, tell me why I ended up losing to her twice. She didn't beat anybody else in the league but me. And then
that's tough.
In the trash bowl game, I lost against her again. So she is no longer in the league. We got our boy Will in the league now, and he's actually sitting at first place. I don't know how, though.
Anyways, but Ryan, we still love you, but you look like a great value, Josh McCown.
Yes, but before we get into
the AFC.
Not yet, because I want to talk on Cleveland a bit more. I do agree that they have the best running back tandem. I do think, obviously me and you disagree on where Odell Beckham, or Hotel Beckham, as this one girl on Twitter called him years ago, ranks in terms of NFL receivers. I think he is going to get a ramp up in production just because, Jarvis is out. We don't know how long he's going to be out.
Said a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think he has an MCL sprain that's going to take a couple weeks to recover, and then you got to get your feet back under you. So I could see realistically maybe another 3-4 weeks before he's ready to come back. But Cleveland, shout out Cleveland. They gave us one of the toughest.
Shout out to other players as well.
Yeah, you do have to give us. You have to work with us here. I do believe I am living closer to a airport than I was before, and this is what we have to work with. So obviously, we do appreciate you being patient, working with us, understanding that, this is what we want to do. We do have a life outside of this podcast, but we do want to keep this channel growing. Obviously, my goal is to, stack my bread, get a place with my girlfriend next year. And then by that time, we should be able to, consistently record episodes. Depends on this guy, too. Might have to be virtual, but we'll get into that when we get into that. Anyways, shout out Cleveland. Y'all gave us one of the hardest and toughest games of the year last year. That game took some years off my life. If we're being honest, maybe I'm being over dramatic.
You kind of are.
Well, got to give the fans what they want.
Sure. And now, finally getting to the South. If we're being honest, this is Tennessee's division to lose, honestly.
It honestly is. Tannehill.
Tennessee leading the division 2-1. Houston 1-2. The Colts and the Jaguars are 0-3. I mean, we kind of expected Jacksonville to stumble out of the gate, but I don't think we expected Indy to stumble out the gate as well.
I expected the Colts to be a bit better. Obviously, their quarterback is known for being injury prone in Carson Wentz. They shut down Marlon Mack. I know he wasn't their first option. I think Naheem Hines is their first option. They were saying something about trading Marlon Mack. I mean, Greg Roman, you're not giving the backs we have a shot right now, so we might as well trade like a second or third or fourth, maybe a third or a fourth for him, see what he can do. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence isn't really living up to the hype, is he?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, if I'm being honest, a lot of people are going to continue to piggyback over the whole Peyton Manning story. Well, you look at Peyton Manning, his rookie year, he threw all those picks, and look how he turned out. We could probably use that same narrative with Trevor Lawrence. Then again, it is Jacksonville. I still have hope for him to, hopefully turn things around. But, I mean, then again, it's a rookie quarterback in a whole new situation, so
that's fair.
It's going to take time. I don't see them going 0-17, but, I mean...
They went 1-16 last year, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, they had Minshew at quarterback. Before that, they had Bortles. So, Trevor Lawrence is an upgrade at quarterback. Do you also think Urban Meyer is going to be one and done in the NFL? I've seen a lot of speculation about that.
Possibly. I mean, they keep saying that he might take the USC job next season. He is saying, no, I'm here for the long haul. I mean, that's what he's kind of supposed to say. I'm pretty sure his agent, whoever told him, hey, just to say this, because let's be honest, I'd rather live in LA than Jacksonville. So I mean,
I'd rather live in either.
I mean,
Florida's nice. I went for vacation. It was a lovely time.
I mean, if I'm being honest, even if he goes to USC, Oregon's still going to destroy them. So I mean, it doesn't matter where he goes. Honestly.
We'll get into the college aspect of it later.
Oh yes, we will. Now we're going to get into the NFC. We'll start off with the NFC East. Dallas 2-1, leading the division at the moment.
You don't sound too happy about that, me boy.
I mean, it's the Cowboys. What do you expect? The Washington insert name here is they are 1-2. The Eagles are 1-2 as well, and the Giants are 0-3.
And we all know, because I want to speak on the Giants first. I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer there.
You kind of just figured that out?
No, I've been known, but we haven't had a platform to talk about it until now. Vanilla Lamar Jackson, as I like to call him. Other people like to refer to him as Danny Dimes. I think what the Giants need to do, because they used to be a competitive football team years ago. I say, the last time I remember them being really competitive, though, is correct me if I'm wrong here, but the last memory I have of them being a competitive football team is 2012, the year the Ravens went to the Super Bowl.
So basically, the last time the Giants were competitive was the last time they won the Super Bowl almost 10 years ago.
Pretty much. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yep. I mean, let's be honest here. Saquon, I like Saquon. He's a generational talent. They call him all this and that. He is coming back from injury. He is starting to gain his, confidence back. But part of me feels like he won't be
The same.
in East. Well, probably that, but he won't be in East Rutherford next season. I feel like he's probably going to end up wanting a trade because it's the whole. If you really look at it, the offense is kind of centered around him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it to be, I get the bulk of the workload. You give me a below average quarterback. You surround me with. I mean, Kenny Galladay is decent, but basically you surround me with about average or slightly above average receivers. You give me a tight end who drops every other pass. I mean, honestly, if you was, a star player on offense on a team like that, I'm pretty sure you're going to want, every other offensive possession going to you.
Yeah, I actually got a funny story about Kenny Galladay. Have you seen on Twitter that a fan posted a tweet and was frustrated because, Danny Dimes wasn't getting Galladay the ball or throwing the ball his way? Galladay's mother responded back to that tweet, and she was mad that the person that tweeted out that tweet was defending her son. So they went back and forth, had a bit of a banter, and what most people seem to gather from that is that she can't read. That's not me saying that, by the way. That's just what I heard.
That's what you heard on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's what you saw on Twitter?
I mean, saw, heard.
Seesaw.
Eat, hurt.
But yeah, the Giants, once again, in the basement of the NFC East. The Eagles, I can't really talk down on them.
It's too early to tell with Philly.
It is, but Philly is also in between the whole, do we have a franchise quarterback? Are we rebuilding? We don't know. We kind of haven't done nothing since we won the Super Bowl.
Back in 17.
We haven't really done much since our former superfan kind of got canceled on social media, and he's kind of nowhere to be found anymore.
Yeah. PSA, don't be like EDP.
Fist bump?
I don't fist bump people like you, man.
I don't want a cupcake, though.
But yeah, Philly, really their last franchise guy, if we're being honest, was Vic.
Yeah.
If you think about it, before that it was McNabb.
I mean, they had Carson Wentz for like half a season before he got hurt.
But Wentz didn't pan out. Like Wentz.
I mean, but then again, it's injuries though. Like you can't just say, "Oh, he didn't pan out because he sucked."
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he sucks at all.
You can't control injuries. That's every sport.
The way I look at it is because he's still playing, so he's a what if, kind of like
RG3.
Definitely like RG3, but I was going to go the route of the other 2012 drafted quarterback in Andrew Luck. Because, that's why he retired.
I guess, but I mean, at least Andrew Luck had some notable moments that were, like, positive notable moments, basically.
One of the funniest Andrew Luck stories that I've heard is, after a defensive player would sack him, he'd be like this, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, that was a great hit." And I'm like, "Oh, what a great guy."
I guess. I'll go into the Washington insert names here.
Probably going to have to speak up a bit,
Say it with your chest. But yeah, picking on Washington, again, it's early in the season, but they have shown that they have exciting pieces on offense. They have Terry McLaurin. I call him McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
I call him Terry McLaurin. I mean, it looks like McLaurin. He's definitely showing out. Antonio Gibson, he's definitely showing out. Obviously, you look at the star of your team in general, it's probably Chase Young. Nothing against Chase Young. A quarterback is still a question mark.
Yeah,
do you really think they're going to ride with Heineke?
I don't think Heineke's the answer there. I think,
He's a temporary answer.
Because Fitzpatrick wasn't the answer either. He was just a stopgate quarterback, if we're being honest. I think what they're going to do probably is test free agency next year. Try the draft. But the draft for... We'll get into that later, but the draft for quarterbacks isn't really too great. They're coming for you.
And we have to talk about them because we're not biased on this show, not most of the time. The Cowboys.
We're them boys. going to the Super Bowl. No, in all seriousness, Dallas is a legit team. They are, 2-1 right now? They hung with the reigning Super Bowl champs in Tampa Bay, in the Buccaneers. They played, who else have they played so far?
The Chargers.
They played the Chargers, and they played Philly. I think, realistically, that's either Dallas's or Philly's division to lose. More so, I lean towards Dallas than I do Philly. Because, Dak probably is going to win Comeback Player of the Year. Zeke's getting back to form. You have arguably the best receiver core. And I did say arguably because I would argue maybe Tampa Bay. You got Amari Cooper. You got CeeDee Lamb. You have Michael Gallup, which was one of my favorites coming out of the draft a couple of years ago. You got a stellar O-line because Dallas always has a great O-line. But yeah.
Just going off of that, nothing against Dak as a person. As a person, I'm like, hey, great guy. We see him in the community, all that good stuff. But as much as it's going to pay me to say, over the course of the season, Dallas, they are, looking a lot better compared to last year. Granted, last year Dak broke his ankle and missed the whole year. But we'll see. I'll put it like that. We'll see what happens with Dallas. And then going to the NFC West.
The West.
We have the Rams and the Cardinals tied atop the division 3-0. We have the 49ers at 2-1 and the Seahawks at 1-2. So one of these things is not like the other. And it's Seattle. They have basically no defense, if I'm being honest. All they have is Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs. Offense, you still have Russell Wilson.
Wait, doesn't Wagner still play for them, or did he retire?
He still plays, but let's be honest, he's not the same person.
But it's still Bobby Wagner, so you got to include him in there.
I guess. Offense, you got Russell Wilson, nothing but love for Russ, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that man almost took you to a fantasy championship last year, if we're being honest.
Great guy, nothing but love for Russ. DK Metcalf, you got bunnies up, buddy, over there. You have Tyler Lockett on the other side, but if you really know football, you kind of have to look at Seattle as kind of being the odd man out. I know a lot of people were saying, the NFC West could be the first division to have all 4 teams in the playoffs. Well, so far, Seattle looks like the odd man out. Going to the Bay, I feel like they're still indecisive on who they're going to put a quarterback. Is it Jimmy G? Is it Trey Lance? Offense, Brandon Ayuk, he's been getting less and less touches, so there's that over there. Deebo Samuel, I guess he's kind of iffy.
He's iffy. I picked him up in fantasy because, he had that one good game and then
dipped. George Kittle, the people's tight end. Haven't really heard his name
he
as often
hasn't
this year.
been what he's been in previous years. Now,
I
obviously,
also have him on fantasy team, so it's kind of disappointing on my end as well.
Definitely. Now, there's still plenty of football left in the season, so time will tell.
And now, getting on.
Hold on, before we get into that, because I want to talk about it. I do think that y'all's division comes down to either y'all or the Rams.
I've been on record as to say that.
Yes, I'm aware, but, I want to say my piece. Because obviously we're going to have to give who we think's going to win the division and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do all that.
We'll do that after we wrap up the recap.
Yep.
So, who are we on to now?
Oh, what's on the way? I thought I was talking about my team, bro.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about my team, undefeated, Red Sea, 3-0, you feel me? MVP right here. Yeah, so this is all new to me. As y'all know, I grew up a Jets fan, so I have never felt this way ever. So this is new. This is fun. But yeah, K1 putting up MVP-like numbers, you know what I mean? Defense is really starting to show up. Week 1, Chandler Jones, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. You know what I'm saying? Against Minnesota, it really wasn't looking up to par. but last week against Jacksonville, defense was kind of in, but second half we woke up. Byron Murphy all over the place, 2 picks, had a pick 6. You know what I mean? So, I
guess I can't really fault you anymore for, celebrating winning, because my first experience with an NFL team, obviously my dad used to watch the game when I was younger, but when I was a kid, I was never into sports. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot you were doing that. Yes, in all seriousness, I do know my dad. I have a decent relationship with my dad. I do make jokes about it because my parents are divorced. I know that's not how you say it. But in all seriousness, I can't give you crap about that, because my first experience I had on my own with the NFL was the 2011 AFC Conference Championship game between the Baltimore Ravens and New England Patriots. Billy Cundiff and Lee Evans.
2 of the greatest Baltimore Ravens of all time.
No, the yuck they ain't. I would trade you.
Just like Kyle Bowler is the greatest Ravens quarterback ever.
Kyle Bowler is not the greatest Ravens quarterback right now, ever. He'll never be the greatest Ravens quarterback.
Right, it's Trent Dilfer.
No, Trent Dilfer got carried to a Super Bowl by that amazing defense. Realistically, it's going to be Lamar or Flacco. It's going to be. And it's probably going to be Lamar, because Lamar's done a lot that Flacco wasn't really able to do. Don't get me wrong, I got much love for Joe Flacco. Steve McNair, he's kind of in there. Aaron McNair.
So I kind of have to talk about the Rams and everyone else.
Hold on. I'm not done my rant. And then you got Vinny Testaverde. Okay, I'm done.
Shout out Vinny Testaverde. But as I have to, I gotta talk about the Rams 3-0. I thought they were overrated going into the season. I thought they were hyping them up like crazy, but so far they lived up to the hype. Matt Stafford, he's not really
in MVP form.
He's not he's, in my point of view, he's not the same Matt Stafford we've seen in Detroit. I mean, in Detroit, you saw him. Yeah, he has the numbers, stats.
I would argue he's a better version of Matt Stafford.
Well, let's be honest, it was Detroit.
Exactly. You think Jared Goff's going to go over and do his thing in Detroit?
I don't know.
No.
But yeah, Matt Stafford looking MVP candidate.
You got everybody's, there's a guy making a case for a top 10 wide receiver in Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, shout out our fellow white brothers.
And this is the end of the WhattaPlay Podcast.
But yeah, Cooper Kupp on one end, Robert Woods, LA native on the other end. That Deshaun Jackson, who basically was surviving his career so far.
You know, old man Jackson?
Yeah, he's still on there.
That man should be in the retirement home with Peyton Manning and Ray Lewis.
Who
but he's still
won
producing.
Contest? Who's going to the
retirement
home? On defense, you have your usual suspects. Jalen Ramsey, another beloved for Jalen Ramsey. Personally, a player that I am a fan of.
Top corner in the league.
Him and D-Hop definitely going to go at it next week. And, of course, Aaron Donald, another beloved for him as well.
Ron Donald.
But, like Derek said, like I said, NFC West, in all likelihood, is going to come down to Arizona or LA. We play LA this coming week, and it's definitely going to be must-see TV. So
definitely.
Obviously, I'm hoping we win, but if we don't, I mean, it is what it is. But on to the other two divisions in the NFC. Going to the North, we have Green Bay at 2-1, Chicago at 1-2 with Minnesota, and Detroit's 0-3.
Detroit could have honestly been 1-2 if we're being honest, if Tucker's leg wasn't blessed by, like that tweet said, if Tucker's leg wasn't blessed by every god in every denomination.
Yeah. So, like you said, Detroit could have been 1-2, but they're not. But I mean, can we really fault Detroit? I mean, they have a new coach for the millionth time ever. They're in rebuild mode for the millionth time ever. So it's going to be a long way to go, I guess, for Detroit.
True.
I guess that's the thing we can say. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is looking like his usual self after that week 1. What in the expletive was that?
What the fudge was that? He was not playing to par.
You let Jameis Winston do that to your defense?
Yeah. In Minnesota.
I mean, if we want to really talk on Minnesota, they're basically one quarterback away from really being a true contender. I mean,
I don't know, man, because, like, Kirk Cousins has been putting up the numbers.
Yeah, like, Kirk Cousins, he's like Matt Stafford. He has the stats, but it's just the whole he gets disrespected. And, I mean, let's be honest.
So you're saying he's underrated?
Yeah, we can say that. It probably just depends who you ask, really. But, I mean, Minnesota 1 and 2. They definitely have a very exciting receiver duo in Jetta and Adam Thielen. If I could do the gritty, I would do it, but I am
We all
uncoordinated.
know white man can't dance.
Well, yeah. But yeah, that's the Vikings. Then going on to the Bears, I am high on Justin Fields being the best quarterback in this rookie class, but week 1, he only had 1 passing yard.
Yeah.
That's tough. But like we said, long way to go. But Justin Fields, you got to see it through, my boy.
That's if Matt Nagy's even smart enough and the higher ups are even smart enough to start him. Andy Dalton, and I can speak on this, being a fan of the AFC North, being a Ravens fan, he does not give you the best chance to win right now. Justin Fields gives y'all the best chance to win. Hell, Nick Foles gives you a better chance to win. Like, why sign Andy Dalton? We saw what he did with Dallas when Dak was hurt. It wasn't that great.
I mean, it was great for Cowboy haters.
True.
And going to the Packers again. Aaron Rodgers looking like he's real self. Like they said, Aaron Rodgers looks like he is very invested in what is labeled to be the last dance. So we'll see what happens down the road. And now getting on to the NFC South. Let me tell you something, bro.
What's that?
The current team that's on top of the NFC South right now, did you project them to be leading that division at this point in time?
No. Honest answer? Because it's Carolina, right?
Yeah, so Carolina, they're 3-0, leading the NFC South at the moment. Tampa's 2-1, the Saints are 2-1, the Falcons are 1-2. Starting with Carolina, as Robbie Anderson said before, what's that Bear doing? Them Bears are 3-0, and I guess I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I guess
You should be happy for Sam Darnold.
I mean, granted, you know what it was, the Jets.
Yo, I saw something, though, that was like, Sam Darnold doesn't throw to Robbie Anderson because he reminds him of the Jets.
I mean,
Not wrong.
Yeah, but shout out Syndrome, man. He's doing what a lot of people want him to do with New York. Christian McCaffrey, he's again come back from injury from last season.
Well, he's actually
he got hurt
injured again.
too. So everyone that drafted him on the fantasy
Chuba
team,
Hubbard.
we gotta pour one out for you guys. But
yeah, I drafted him in my other in Darren's league.
That's tough.
I know, dude, and it's an 18-man league. So the running back depth is shit.
Got to see it through, my boy. But again, looking at the offense, DJ Moore, to me, he's definitely underrated. Robbie Anderson, he's also underrated. I mean, look at the defense led by Brian Burns and Derek Brown. I mean, they're 3-0 for a reason. So I mean,
can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars?
Let us daylight.
Sorry, I had to.
But yeah, and then going to Tampa. This guy is going back to his old home next week.
Yes, that is a game I am really looking forward to see. Obviously, he is coming off
every NFL fan out there, they're going to be glued to their TVs.
He's coming off a loss to LA to the Rams. This man is coming pissed off, hungry, determined. This man has been carrying me in fantasy football right now.
Hungry. That describes you about 75% of the time.
You got jokes.
Of course I do.
You don't want to get into this, me boy. Anywho. Tampa Bay's still going to win that division.
All right. And going off of the record of, oh yeah, hold on, Brady. I need to throw to Mike Evans a little bit more because he hasn't been doing anything for me in fantasy.
Tell him to get better hands and I'll throw to him.
He's one. Oh, look at me while I'm talking to you, goddamn. He's one of the most underrated receivers in the league. And tell your defense to step it up for me too because y'all didn't give another. Your defense didn't give nothing for points either.
Word of advice to you, because I've seen what your roster is in fantasy football. I'd start Cleveland's defense over Tampa's defense.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the Buccaneers. The Saints, 2-1. They're still without Mike Thomas for another few more weeks.
Slant boy.
They have Kamara. Kamara's doing his thing. Jameis Winston. Is he the long-term answer for the Saints? I don't think so.
No.
You
You know who it wouldn't surprise me to see the Saints draft down the line?
Spencer Rattler.
No, I'm going even further because I don't know how much time he's got left. Last name Manning.
Arch Manning's like a junior in high school.
Dude, I mean, I said down the line.
He's probably going to go to the Jets in a couple of years.
Don't do that to that kid.
Nah, he's going to end up being like his uncle and stay in school for one more year so he don't got to get drafted by the Jets.
I mean, Eli got drafted. I know you're talking about.
Pain.
Yeah, because Eli got drafted to the Chargers and he didn't want that either.
Oof. But, yeah, and then the Falcons are they in rebuild mode? I don't know. I'm going to assume that they're going to ride with Matt Ryan until they either trade him, release him, and then start the rebuild, but... Yeah,
That offense is running through Cordell Patterson, if we're being honest.
But yeah, Falcons fans, we also have a record from 28-3, and it's probably going to be a while before you guys do. So, that being said, since we didn't get to do this, AFC Conference Champions, who do you have?
Let's not go with champions. Let's just go with division winners.
Yeah, you know what I mean, division champions.
So let's go with AFC East because it's the easiest. It's Buffalo.
Yeah, that's Buffalo.
AFC West. As much as I don't like them, it's gonna be. No, you know what? Let's throw a shocker in there. I'm going with the Chargers.
Shout out Herbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers literally proved that they can hang with the top teams in the AFC. So it wouldn't shock me to see the Chargers win the AFC West. AFC North, you're probably going to have the Ravens, I'm assuming.
And I'm assuming you're going to have Cleveland.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. And then AFC South, 1, 2, 3, Titans.
Titans.
Titans, all right.
No doubt.
And NFC East.
Dallas.
I'm only going to say Dallas, only because I don't have confidence in the other three teams in that division. So it is Dallas's division to lose.
Mm-hmm.
NFC West.
I know who you're going with here.
Well, obviously.
But I'm going with the Rams. And it's not because I don't like Kyler.
No, it's not that. Like, I can't disagree with that. Obviously, I'm going to go with Arizona because that is my team.
Fair.
But, like I said, it's going to be between either us or LA.
Mm-hmm.
Us and Cardinals and Rams, those are going to be underrated games to watch.
Just like for us, it's going to be between us and Cleveland.
K1 for MVP. NFC North, we got Green Bay.
Green Bay.
And then NFC South.
1, 2, 3.
Tampa. Yeah, so those are our division winners. You guys can do with that what you will. You guys can come back to this video come playoff time. So
Obviously, we will be coming back to this video come playoff time.
all right. So we didn't talk about this. So earlier this morning, Tampa did sign Richard Sherman.
Yes, and also Kansas City signed Josh Gordon.
Oh, I forgot about that too. Yeah, well, let's be honest. He's probably gonna last about 2 weeks before he's suspended again.
If he could stay off the weed.
Well, now since they're not testing for that, he should be good.
Yeah, unless he's doing PEDs. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying in general.
All right, and now we're going back to school. We talking about some college. So top 10 rankings. We have Alabama number 1, Georgia number 2, Oregon number 3, Penn State 4th, Iowa 5th, Oklahoma 6th, Cincinnati 7th, Arkansas 8th, Notre Dame 9th, and Florida 10th. So I don't know how much college football you've been watching this year. Are there any surprises to you in the top 10?
No, not really.
Are you saying that as a depressed LSU fan, or?
Listen, LSU can't be ranked because LSU hasn't played nobody worth ranking. That said, I do believe we're 2-1 right now. So we'll see how the season progresses. Obviously, I'm not expecting Joe Burrow-esque levels of dominance.
Do you even know who your starting quarterback is right now?
Some white dude.
Yeah, that narrows it down.
Dude, I haven't been able to keep up with college football that much. I've been in the middle of moving.
So, on my end...
Shout out Boutte, though.
Who?
Wide receiver for LSU.
Alright. So, on my end, Alabama number 1, like, that comes as a surprise to really nobody. Georgia number 2, they started off the year with a statement win against Clemson. Definitely proving that they're legit. They basically committed mass murder on Vanderbilt this past weekend, 62-0. They put up like 28 in the first quarter.
Damn.
So as of right now, it looks like the SEC will be between Alabama and Georgia. I don't believe they play each other in the regular season, but come conference championship time, look for those two to be in Atlanta playing for the SEC title. Third, the Ducks, probably one of the biggest wins, I will say, in Oregon history a couple weeks ago against Ohio State, getting our revenge for the heartbreak that they gave me for that national championship game. Yeah, definitely Coach C, Mario Cristobal, he's definitely bringing Oregon back to what it was back in the early 2010s. And, yeah, I mean, I really don't have to speak much on it.
Shout out Haloti Nada.
But, you know...
Truly the only Oregon player I like.
Y'all had D'Anthony Thomas too.
He didn't do nothing for us. That's like me saying we had Devin Hester. Devin Hester didn't do shit for us.
But yeah, a lot of people right now definitely have Oregon as a sleeper in the college football playoffs, which we will more than likely end up going back to. So
just to lose to Bama.
Well, you're not wrong. But if we play Georgia, it could be even.
Yeah, but
yeah, shout out them Ducks though. You know, shout out them Ducks. Cardinals and Ducks both undefeated in the month of September. We'd love to see it. Fourth ranked we have Penn State, and then fifth Iowa. Penn State, they're playing a lot better football compared to last year. Last year they started off 0-5, but again they had a big win against Auburn, a ranked opponent in Happy Valley. And Iowa fifth. I'm not sure if Penn State and Iowa meet in the regular season, but look for those two teams to possibly meet up in the Big Ten Championship. Oklahoma, I feel like they should be a lot more lower than what they usually are, because you look at their games, they haven't played up to par. I mean, they barely beat West Virginia last week. They almost lost to Tulane week 1. Spencer Rattler, he was getting booed by his own fans this past weekend, and they were clamoring for the backup quarterback.
damn.
So Spencer Rattler, so far, he's not as advertised. He's not the Heisman favorite that everyone has been expecting.
I'd have to look back in the older episodes, but I do believe I had him as my Heisman winner.
I think I did too. But then, of course, you have Cincinnati, the Power 5, hopeful basically between them and Coastal Carolina. Arkansas 8th. I know everybody north of us in Arkansas, they're loving it. They're the Texas State champs. They beat UT, they beat Rice, they just beat A&M. So, yeah, good time to be a Big East fan.
Yeah, you know, That said, we're going to do a bit something unconventional here. I got to go take care of something real quick. Jalen, entertain the audience for a minute.
Entertain the audience? All right, bet.
Yeah, talk about whatever you want. Keep it sports-wise, music. I don't give a shit.
All right.
I'll be right back, y'all.
So, as Eric goes to do that, we have Notre Dame 9th and Florida 10th. Again, with Notre Dame, I guess you could say their name. That's why they're still up there. But so far, so good for Notre Dame. You said then Florida, they're hanging in there as well. So, me personally, Florida, they could be the dark horse to the Alabama, Georgia party. So, we'll wait and see what happens. Obviously, a lot of college football left in the season. But one team I would like to talk about is Clemson. So, Clemson, again, what's going on in Death Valley, man? I mean, this is a team that a lot of people projected to go back to the Natty. We're in Alabama versus Clemson, part 6, 7, whatever we was on. They lost first game of the year against Georgia, and they just lost this past weekend to NC State. So, in all likelihood, Clemson could probably still win out, but they're more than likely not going to be in the playoff this year. I believe it'll be the first time since the first year playoff that they weren't in it. DJ Ungalalele, I butchered that name like crazy. Again, he's another top quarterback in college that people hyped up, but he hasn't lived up to the hype. So that's one thing I guess I could speak on.
My bad, didn't mean to cut in front of you. All right, y'all, back like I never left. I don't know what this man's been telling you, but it's all a lie. I didn't do nothing. I ain't going back to the pen. What was you talking to them about?
Clemson.
Oh, yeah, Clemson, I guess you would say, because you asked me earlier if we had any shockers.
Yeah,
I guess Clemson not
I'll
being
talk about
up
how Clemson hasn't really been living up to par this year. Kind of how Oklahoma hasn't been the Oklahoma that they should be.
True.
But like I said, a lot of college football left. We still have all these big time rivalry games. Since we're on Texas, I will kind of speak a little bit on UT and Baylor, both with winning records. I'll go ahead and say this now because I have my old radio teacher who I'm still in contact with, OU alum, big Sooners fan. I believe that UT can beat Oklahoma this year.
I wish I had the same confidence to say LSU could beat Alabama, but realistically, it's not.
At least I also have 2019.
It's a memory I will hold on to for probably another 10 or 20 years.
Yeah, because let's be honest, LSU probably ain't going to do that ever again.
I mean, it depends. You got to get a generational quarterback like your Burrow.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow was like third on the depth chart at Ohio State.
Yeah, but he was a success, and he came up, rising up, back on the herd. Anywho.
All right, so that's our little bit of college right there. Nothing on my end about college. Anything you would like to speak on with college, or?
I think we've covered all of college.
All right, so one headline I kind of want to talk about, since NBA season is around the corner. The NBA announced earlier today that if you're unvaccinated, you can't play. You're not gonna get your money. Andrew Wiggins, he's made headlines with the whole I don't want to get vaccinated for my religious beliefs. Kyrie, he's kind of the same way, but Kyrie, he's just weird now. So you, obviously, you're vaccinated. You're fond of the vaccine. I don't know how I want to speak on it. What's your opinion on this?
I say if it's going to prevent you from getting your bag, man up, grow up hair, get the shot. It's not that bad. Obviously, I know you've had your concerns with it, but the Pfizer one is FDA approved right now. And if we're being honest, there's nothing in it. Like, I know there's those people out there that are like, oh, microchips, this, that. If the government really wanted to track us, bro, cell phones. Obviously. Like, you have so much more freedom. The only downside, I would say, to getting the vaccine, obviously, it does not prevent you from getting cough either. but it does help you fight it because obviously, as you know, I just recently getting over having cough. But compared to the other people who I had to quarantine with, I had it easy. So I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. I just know it was a good choice on my end to get the shot.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any say-so on that. I mean, they're millionaires. They're making more than what we're probably going to ever make in our entire lives.
We'd be lucky to be thousandaires.
Yeah. End of the day, it's their choice. They can do whatever they want to do. That's all I'm going to say on it because I know how people are about it.
Yes, and we are not a political podcast.
Yeah. And so, I guess the last bit of sport news, noteworthy sport news that we want to talk about for something that I want to talk to you about, I guess for our fun segment, is Manny Pacquiao finally retired.
I wouldn't say that's our fun segment. I'd just say that's what we're covering.
No, I'm saying...
Oh, before... Okay,
yeah,
I see what you're saying. Because
yeah.
there is something else I want to cover, and then we'll get into the fun segment.
So, yeah, Manny Pacquiao announced his retirement earlier this morning. For those who are unaware, he's trying to run for presidency in the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like, so he's been involved with, like, politics over there for, like, a long time. He's basically trying to, like, rebuild that country. Me being half Filipino, I know my family, that's like the one athlete, sport, whatever that we all like. I mean, I have family who are Cowboy fans, obviously, and all that stuff, but Pacquiao, that's like the one guy we all like. So I don't really follow boxing, but I like Manny Pacquiao. I was a fan of him. So see him finally hanging up as one of those, it sucks that he finally retired, but we all know he's going to go on to do bigger and better things. I guess with that being said, I can finally focus on whatever Conor McGregor's doing now.
Yeah. I think, obviously Pacquiao, one of the greatest to ever do it. I'm not really big into the sport of boxing. Obviously, I do it for, like, exercise and stuff. Yes, before you say anything, I do exercise.
Really? Because I could see it.
Dude, I've actually lost weight. Kind of like you're losing sight in your eye if we want to go there.
I don't care. Everything get benefits.
The medical marijuana. The icky sticky. The ooey gooey. The devil's lettuce.
Anyways,
Anywho, the other thing I want to cover on here, obviously, I am your expert pro wrestling guru, if you will. The WWE draft is coming up. Obviously, it's not the same as your NBA draft, your NFL draft, your MLB draft.
MLB draft is nothing like an NBA or NFL.
I know they're different in their own sense, but like the WWE draft is different. They have like 3 picks from one brand, 3 picks from another. That's coming up in October, so I'll probably want to do an episode covering that. What did you want to do?
You can do a segment on that.
You can do an episode if we don't got nothing else going on.
Alright, so for our first segment, I want to get your opinion on this because besides we hooping, y'all have a weird fan base. So there's a Ravens fan out there. I'm not going to give his full name because, there's a Ravens fan who plans on getting a tattoo on his leg for every Ravens victory.
Every Ravens win. Like, obviously, I'm a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. You could say I'm a diehard fan. I've defended Joe Flacco when he was playing. I think I defended Ryan Mallett when he was playing quarterback for us.
Oof.
Yeah, not a fun time. Lamar.
You defended those piss yellow pants y'all wore that one time?
No, hell no. Which, have we done that for a fun segment yet?
We might have.
I think we've done best uni combos. We're going to go with worst. But let's make this just an opinion, and then let's do that for our fun segment.
Sure. So, obviously, I have the picture right here.
Yes, first one
He got one for Kansas City losing, and then he got one for Tucker hitting that game winner.
Thank you for reminding me, because I never got into it. Jackson Mahomes.
Shit.
You... How do I word this? I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah, be careful how you word this, because this involves me too.
You wanna be great value, Patrick Mahomes reject. You are a grown-ass man. And you get mad because the Ravens finally handed your brother a loss. No disrespect to you, Patrick Mahomes. You probably don't watch this, but love your work, love what you do. You're one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Your brother, on the other hand, he do his little dancey dance. You know, Corvette, that's Juju, but whatever. You get mad. Damn, you pulled a Clyde? You get mad, and you pour water on a fan at M&T Bank Stadium. Then, instead of manning up, growing a pair, and apologizing for your actions, you say, he was thirsty. To quote the late, great Robin Williams from the movie Mrs. Doubtfire, piss off, Lou.
Let's be honest. We all know what Jack Mahomes is thirsty for.
I don't like Mahomes. I don't like Mahomes' fiance either, if we're being honest.
Yeah, she ain't bad looking.
It's not the looks, it's the her doing the most. But, I mean, obviously, what are you going to do? It's her husband, or soon-to-be husband, so. Let's talk about the other tattoo.
Oh, well,
It was a field goal post.
Yeah,
It said
the
66 yard. It looked like my I'm not going to say the urge. Well, yeah, because I'm not going to say the name. It looks like my 3-year-old niece did that work.
So apparently, according to the article, I believe his wife, who was trying to become a tattoo artist, did them. Like,
She should switch career paths.
I mean, it's like, look at it like this. At least he's not getting like full on like real legit tattoos. It's just like little. I mean, yeah, it looked like something that we drew on.
It looks like something
our binders when we were kids.
that would get done in prison, if we're being honest.
I'm pretty sure prison tattoo artists.
Prison?
I'm pretty sure they have more artistic vision than this, but yeah.
Okay, and now for the lay fun segment. What would you say is the worst uniform combo in Let's Go football? Obviously, you know you can speak on it being a Ducks fan. You have 10,000 different jersey combos.
Oh, yes, we have 100,000 uniform combinations, but no national championships. Like, I heard that joke a million times before.
Anywho.
But yeah, I think worst uniform combination that I've personally seen, I'm going to go with Denver's AFC uniforms, like the old brown and yellow ones. Like, I get it was the 50s. Like, y'all didn't know any better back then, but what is that?
Yeah, you know, obviously we talked about the hot, ugly-ass mustard yellow pants that the Ravens wore back in that abysmal 2015 season. Not who I'm going with. You know, you picked Denver. I'm going NFC. The Packers blue and brown uni combo from back in the day.
In my defense, they said the helmet was like that because it's supposed to reflect like the old leather helmets, but that's what jersey itself, like blue and yellow. It's not bad, it's just the helmet kind of ruined it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm coming from on it. I think the helmet and then a pants weren't the wave. Anywho, you have anything else to say to the crowd before we wrap things up?
I never do.
Okay, let me talk to y'all. Take care of your chickens, take care of your mentals. Always take care of your mental health first. Obviously, I have had to step away from doing this for a bit because of me not being in the best state mentally. And the way I've always stated it is not fair for me to put out a fake product for y'all if I'm not doing okay myself. And I do appreciate y'all being loving, supporting, understanding. And yeah, I can't really speak on a schedule because, you know, I mean, I've had a lot happen in the past 4 months. I'm not going to say the name because they don't deserve clout. I did step down from a toxic work environment because it was taking a toll on my mental health. Co-host Jalen can speak to that as well. He's done the same thing in times past. He didn't go the same route. That's not what I'm saying.
Like, well, my situation wasn't toxic. It's just I couldn't work there no more.
That's what that means. But anyways, yeah, that happened. Obviously, as I stated earlier in the episode, I ended up getting... Actually, before all that happened, I ended up getting bronchitis and was out of work for a week. Ended up leaving that job because it was taking a toll on my mental health. Ended up getting into an argument with a certain somebody. Ended up having to go and stay somewhere for a week, not going to say where. Ended up having to move from the place I was living, and am in the process of looking for work right now. So obviously we do appreciate you being patient, working with us. I can't speak on a consistent schedule, but, you know, on days where, like, oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I had cough and wasn't able to, like, see or hang out with anybody for a month, just about.
I thought you just avoided me because you didn't like me.
I mean, you get on my nerves sometimes, but you're my
that's
brother
what
at the end of the day.
Yeah, but what friends don't get on each other's nerves?
True. You need to stop being an asshole sometimes, though.
Yeah, I definitely can't promise that.
Just not all the time, bro, but, like, we'll talk about that later. But anyways, yeah, had cough, and bronchitis within the span of a month, so wasn't able to do anything. Shout out to my girlfriend, though, because, like, she came up with a movie night thing to do on, like, every other night. So, yeah, on, like, days where I don't got stuff going on, like, during the night, or I'm off work during the day, because I usually don't have much going on until the nighttime anyway. We may be able to record future episodes. We should be able to do this more consistently than we were, but I can't promise anything. Thank you for the support. You know, as always, promote this when we put it out on our socials. Hey, diddle, diddle, Ray Rice up the middle. I guess that's all I have to say.
Hey, diddle, K1 for MVP. Doug's going to the national championship game.
We'll circle back to this closer to the playoffs and see if that statement holds. Obviously, there are other people besides K1 that are in the MVP race. No disrespect to Kyler Murray, because unlike this guy to my right, I do like Kyler Murray, unlike this man who doesn't like or gives Lamar his respect. It's not that deep, bro. Just make a new Insta. Tell him you're special and you didn't know any better.
August tell him all that.
True.
No, we all know
That's what I'm gonna get you for Christmas. I'm gonna get Lamar to unblock you on Instagram.
You just give me another North Face city. I don't care. I don't want anything.
Oh yeah, that is what I got you for Christmas last year.
Alright, so that being said, make sure y'all still follow the Twitter page. It's almost at 1K followers.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of promoting the hell out of the podcast. Obviously, when I upload this, which we should be able to upload quicker, because I think the Wi-Fi service where I am living now is better. So yeah, follow the Twitter page. Keep subbing on the YouTube page. I want to get us to like 100 before season's end or year's end. You know, we might do like special promotions and stuff down the line. You know,
we won't have the money for that.
It's not going to be anything expensive. It'd be like something simple, like guess the teams. Stuff like that. And that's not a guarantee either. That's just an idea I have. But yeah, that said, I think it's about time we wrap it up. Also, that said, this is our handshake. There are many like it, but this one is ours.
I can't wait for that.
Yes, you did. That said, eat your vegetables, eat your prayers, say your vegetables, and we outie. All right, go in the video.